Who that nation? How you doing? Come on in. Take a seat. Sit back. Relax. Put your feet up. Grab a drink. And let's talk Saints football. Y'all know what time it is. Time to keep it real. Let's go. Who that nation? How you doing? Come on in. It's your boy Dog 17 and my co-host. You see him up there with that red KC shirt on. he losing his mind again, but we gonna get him right. Dennis Allen about to make him jump ship again, but we gonna get him right. The legendary Coach Rock and the man of the hour. Y'all know who he is. The editor, chief executive, the producer, HBCU, Saints News Network, the one and only Mr. Kyle T. Mosley is in the house. Kyle, welcome to the show, my brother.
Hey, thank you, Dolph, man. How you doing? How you doing, Coach?
How you doing tonight, man?
Good,
man. A lot to talk about, man. First of all, again, for the family members don't know, if you don't mind, Kyle was supposed to join us when we had Mike Haas on, but something came up. He's doing better. He's here today, and that's a great thing, and that's all that matters. That's the most important thing, man.
Definitely.
And so with that, man, we're gonna see you got some family members already here, and they'll be coming on in. Elite Goods, come on in. Trail 504, come on in. Uh-oh. They call him the OG, but we call him Uncle Jerry. Come on in. Thank you for being here, OG. The one and only Uncle Jerry. JT, come on in. Let's see who else is in the house. All right, that's all we got in the house right now. Man, there's so much to talk about, man. First off, Kyle, again, man, we want to thank you for taking time out your busy schedule to be here with us, man. We really appreciate you. Dana, come on in. Thank you for being here, Queen. Oh, yeah. So, you know, got to greet the family, man. Got to greet the family.
Definitely, man. That's how you got to do it.
That's the family, man. They've been riding with us from the beginning, man. Uh-oh. There she go. Number one Saint fan. Come on in. Thank you for being here, Queen. Yes. All right, Kyle. Man, so much to talk about, man. First of all, Kyle, it's been a big week in New Orleans. Tomorrow, it all comes together with the game, man. Right. First of all, let me just ask you this, Kyle. As far as how did you even get into journalism and wanted to be a sportscaster and everything like that?
Man, I didn't want to. I didn't want to, man.
Got you.
With you, man.
Okay.
Look, back in 2006, because the Saints had the first pick, Reggie Bush, right?
Yes.
And that's when blogs were just starting to get up and running big,
okay.
Right. So I did some stuff for Yard Barker and Bleacher Report a little bit, you know, sitting in some stuff. But I said, hey, man, we ain't got no black guys covering the Saints.
Gotcha.
And I started deuceandreggie.com. That was the first website. And then I started Saints News Network. All right.
So you were the founder. You were the founder of Saints News Network.
Founder of both of them, yes.
Okay.
Founder and owner.
And
then we kind of branched off from there, you know.
yes, sir.
So I got a couple of my guys who were Saints fans as well,
Right.
and they wanted to be able to be on it. So then I got contacted by a Saints players rep saying they wanted to do like an interview. And
Wow.
that's when podcasting just started, man.
Okay.
Back in 2009, 2010, something like
Gotcha.
that. And man, we didn't have all the technology that we have today.
Yeah.
I had to hook up analog to digital stuff,
Wow.
and
A lot of wires.
it was terrible. It was terrible, man. I mean, it was snap, crackling, and pop through the whole thing. We would freeze all the time, and you know, just we went from there, man. And Saints News Radio, that was the podcast, and we grew from there. And I started having 5 shows the following year. I had NFL Huddle. I had the Professor Speaks. Then we grew it to having the Coach's Corner, and then we also had the Saints Angels. So man, we were the first to kind of branch off and have a network that was going on of 5 concurrent shows. And we just stayed with it, man. Stayed the course and try to give people some, you know, some representation from us.
Yes.
To the New Orleans Saints, because you had these other guys out there, and I got to give credit to Big T and Nader as well, because they started like a few months after me, you know. So, and we were good friends, me and Big T. And
Big T, or you talking Big Q?
No, Big T.
Big T. Okay, Big T.
He died.
Oh, he passed away. Okay.
Yeah, he passed away. He had a heart attack around 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay.
But he and Nader, those guys were on point with us when we were kind of growing the network. And that's how we got started, man. You know, a lot of trial and error. And my website started growing as a result. And Sports Illustrated contacted me and wanted to partner with us. We're not owned by Sports Illustrated. I don't work for Sports Illustrated, but we are partners with Sports Illustrated. And that's how we got Saints News Network on Sports Illustrated. HBCU Legends is on Sports Illustrated, as well as Pelican Scoop is on Sports Illustrated as well.
So you were the entrepreneur. You own all that. All that's you.
Yeah. Wow.
That's great, man. That's great. It's motivation for me, man.
Yeah, keep banging, man.
I am, man. I'm banging. I'm gonna keep banging, man. We're gonna keep banging this thing, man. So you do that, man. John forward now, man. Coach, you got anything before I go forward with Kyle? You got anything?
No, I'm just listening. I'm a sponge right now.
You're a sponge tonight. You're a sponge tonight.
I'm absorbing.
All right. So first, let's get into Saints news, man. No, before we get into Saints news, this week the HBCU Legacy Bowl.
Right.
Man, how, and shout out Coach is also a HBCU grad, GSU. Shout out to the Tigers. Yeah.
All right.
My thing is, man, first of all, how did you guys come to form this? I believe it was Doug Williams and Mr. James Shaq Harris, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, James Shaq Harris, right.
Okay. So did you guys all just come? Whose idea was it basically? Were you guys
yeah, good question, man. It was their idea, number one.
Okay.
It was because James Shaq Harris and Doug Williams are the co-founders of the Black College Football Hall of Fame.
Okay.
So that's the first entity they started together several years ago. And then because, you know, there was no black representation for our own Hall of Fame. So that's what they wanted to start. And then it was strange because what happened was the fact that I saw that they put out something on Twitter, right? Mm-hmm. And I contacted their account and said, "Hey man, can I have an interview with Doug Williams?"
Right.
And then Doug said, "All right, yeah, cool. Would you like to also interview James Shaq Harris?" I said, "Bet." So I had both of them on the air with me, and that's how HBCU Legends started, just like that.
Oh, so
just like that, man. And
so you were
that was
talking to Doug, and then he said, "Man, what about James?" And bam, it just popped in your head, man. HBCU legends.
it popped in my head. I'm gonna call this podcast HBCU Legends.
Wow, wow,
And
wow.
had them on, man. I think we talked around 90 minutes, almost 2 hours, just
Right.
soaking up the history from both of those guys.
Yes, sir.
And that's when they told me, hey, man, we're going to have an all-star game called HBCU Legacy Bowl. And it's going to be the following year.
Yes, sir.
So that's how I got involved, trying to help them out to be able to grow it,
Okay.
the HBCU Legacy Bowl. So I was there at the first one. I can't be there because of the surgery I had
Right.
for tomorrow, but I'm a part of the planning committee this season to try to help it out and grow it and get more awareness out there.
Okay, man. And it was definitely, man, a form that was needed because there are so many athletes and HBCUs who can play at the next level, but just didn't have the opportunity. We're not getting invited to the NFL Combine.
Right.
So, man, it's really a great thing that you guys are doing, man. And I'm going to play in a little while. I'm going to play Doug Williams' interview today, and I was very interested in how it's not just about football.
Right.
Like I think he said, and I'm gonna let you guys hear it. You guys are gonna be busting in some kids from all over, from all HBCUs for a job fair.
All
First
across
thing.
the Gulf Coast region, we have kids from Prairie View, Texas Southern, FAMU, Jackson
Yes,
State,
sir.
all over Grambling. We tried to get as many young kids. I think we were trying to. The focus was 1,500 at least, as well as
1,500
we were
kids.
trying to open it up to people around the New Orleans area who just wanted to come into it. It was free admission, man, to be able to meet 100 employers.
Wow, that's a beautiful thing, man. And also, I believe Coach Williams also said that it will be not just for football and the guys, but also um, it'll be
For the young ladies.
for the young ladies too, man.
Right.
And man, he was saying he was making some very valid and good points, man, when he was saying that when he was saying that there, excuse me, family, hey, it's live, family, it's live, up there, baby. When he was saying that you don't play football, you're only going to play football for so long. Either was him
Right.
or Mr. Harris.
Right.
So life after football is going to be much longer than your time as a football player, whether collegiately or professionally.
Right.
Man, that I am so proud. First of all, that it's being held in our city. I'm very proud. Hopefully, it stays there.
I'm trying to get some.
That's the goal. The goal is to keep it in New Orleans. They want to keep it in New Orleans because people will say, "Hey, it can go to Atlanta or it can go to Houston or somewhere." The goal is to keep it in New Orleans. And another key component is the New Orleans Saints. And you got to give some credit to the owner, Mrs. Benson, as well as the leadership there. And look, guys, a lot of people don't know we have an African American woman who is from New Orleans, and she's the vice president of production for not only the Saints but the Pelicans. Her name is Shanika Dabney Henderson, and she was our chairperson, man. So she was right there coordinating a whole lot of stuff with the NFL because she used to be the NFL producer for 21st and Prime.
Whoa!
As well as the night show that they would have.
So she was the producer of that show.
She was the producer.
Wow.
Man.
Okay.
Yeah, man. And Shanika is a deep young girl. I mean, she's right here from New Orleans, man. And that's our roots. So that's why they're trying to keep it here in New Orleans because homegrown, and plus, Doug and Shaq are Louisiana guys themselves.
Exactly. Got anything right now, Coach?
I just want to ask him about some players that are playing in this game, if I could, just to kind of hear his input. One of them is Isaiah Cox, a receiver from Alabama.
Yes, sir. What about him? You,
Can you tell us a little about him?
I can't, and I
Okay,
don't want to do him some disservice, man.
okay,
I had some scouting on a few of those guys, and Cox was a young guy who couple years ago. You're talking about the guy from Alabama A&M, not
correct,
State, right? Okay.
correct.
So remember a few years ago, he had Aquil Glass to be his quarterback. So he's a good young guy, but I think this year, because the drop off they had is in the quarterback room, didn't give him the exposure that he could have
Right,
got if Glass was
Gotcha.
still there.
right,
Okay, so I don't want to do him a disservice by saying anything negative. I just
right.
think he has the some of the intangibles that you like to see, the size as well as the production that he had when he was with Glass.
Okay, okay, okay.
Now, how many NFL teams actually attended this year?
31, and
31. Okay.
we still they're keeping quiet who that 32nd team that did not show up. And I have to say shame on them. They should have been there.
Right.
Because last year I think we had so 20, 28 or 27
Okay.
teams that showed up.
Okay. Okay. 20 to 27. Now this year, 31. Man,
Mm-hmm.
it's 2 years in a row is a bigger. It's going to turn into an event, man. And like you say, it's
Has to
bigger
be.
than it's bigger than football. We see where it's going right now, and man, I'm just so excited, man, and thankful that Doug and James and yourself and everyone started it, man. It, like I said, it was needed to showcase the talent of these young men who are playing in HBCUs all around the country, and
Yeah.
man, it's a beautiful thing, man.
Think
So
about this, though.
go ahead.
I mean,
Yes, sir.
we have 100 guys
Hmm.
who were invited. Several of them are not participating, like Mark Evans from Pine Bluff. So Mark
Okay.
Evans and Isaiah Land were the only two HBCU guys invited to the NFL scouting combine in Indianapolis.
Okay.
Okay. So Mark's agent, because he was the first person who was invited and accepted, but his
Okay.
agent decided, "Oh, I don't want you playing in the
Wow.
HBCU Legacy Bowl because we got the combine and then the schedules are all off and everything else."
Right.
Here's my thing, and this is the narrative from Doug Williams as well. You still should come, participate, or just show up,
Right.
because how often, and Coach Rock can be able to attest to this, man. How often do you have a chance to sit in royalty with Mel Blunt or Art Shell or James Shack Harris?
Right.
Just be able to sit there and soak up some of the knowledge in these from these guys who not only played the game but also were executives.
Right.
And a lot of people don't realize that James Shack Harris was one of the guys that be
Right.
architect of that Baltimore Ravens team that won the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Okay,
So he was working
Ozzie
with
Newsome.
Isaac, him and Isaac.
Yeah, right,
Okay.
right. He was an executive for the Baltimore Ravens, guys, and those are the the intangibles that you get just from being around those guys and having conversations with them. Because look, man, if you talk to James Shack Harris, he'll talk you like 2 or 3 hours if you keep
Right.
him on the phone. But the reason why he wants to talk to young guys and quiz young guys is because he wants to see your true passion for the game.
Right.
And that's the thing that I think a lot of people take away from it as, man, look what these guys were able to instill into me. And agents don't get it because they think about their commissions,
Gotcha.
right? And I'm not
Right.
taking a business away from you guys, but at least have if you don't want them to participate in the game, at least have them to show up
Right.
and get to meet some of these NFL scouts and executives firsthand
Hey.
before you even get to the NFL combine. They would have had a leg up there.
Right.
So
Well,
that's
most
my
of them
thing.
won't even be invited there, though.
Exactly. So just get to the combine or to the Legacy Bowl, meet some of these guys, and then you still have an advantage to be able to have that one-on-one interaction and people to remember you when it
Right.
comes to the draft process.
Right. And like you were saying, like they get a chance to meet like Mel Blunt. My thing is, I don't think a lot of these kids really know the history of the
Right.
HBCU. Today, to me, they're living in the now. A lot of them don't go back and um, pay homage or even research who paved the way for them. What Doug Williams, they know it's simple. He's the first black quarterback that wins. So bam, they'll know that.
Right.
But like I didn't know it. I'm certainly about 97, 98% of them didn't know that James Shaq Harris was part of the Baltimore Ravens organization working side by side with Isaac Newsom. I didn't know
That's
that.
right.
See, you
Right.
learn something new every day. So I think it's that's why it's needed, man. And I believe it was maybe 7, 8 years ago. I forgot what Super Bowl it was. It probably was a little longer than that when they presented all the HBCU current NFL Hall of Famers. And
Mm-hmm.
man, I believe it was about there. I mean, it was about 16 to 20, or maybe more than that, if I'm not
Yeah, right
mistaken.
now, yeah. As far as the ones who are still living, yeah,
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
around
yeah.
16 or whatever. Yeah. So
Right.
right now, I think the latest count is 35, 34,
35.
35 that are the 35 now because Ken Riley. So yeah,
Okay.
35 HBCU players are a part of the Pro Football Hall of
Pro
Fame.
Football Hall of Fame. Man, see that I think that needs to be taught, man. Those kids need to learn that, man. They need to know that. You know, just hey, you can make it from an HBCU. You just need to get that opportunity. Man, we got some great examples. The young man in Indianapolis, the linebacker for the Colts, um,
No, you're talking about for the Lions.
for the
You're talking about
Lions,
James Houston.
James Houston. James
Look,
Houston.
think about it, Dolph. What they kept him in the practice squad over half of the year. Soon as he starts on Thanksgiving Day, he breaks a record with 3 sacks,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Then he goes on and he plays 7 games and he has 8 sacks. Aiden Hutchinson, their number one overall draft choice,
Draft
he only
choice.
had 9.5 sacks. Think of what James would have been able to do if he had a full year of production.
Wow, man,
Now,
it's
Kyle, let
great.
me ask this: is the game on TV tomorrow? Is it being
Yeah,
the NFL Network?
NFL Network. So it starts at 3 p.m. They're going to have a pregame show. So you guys may want to look at, I think that they're going to do some pregame stuff around 1 o'clock
Okay,
on the NFL Network. So check that out. If you can't catch it there, if you have Sirius XM radio, you could be able to check it out on channel, I think, 88, 89, something to that nature. I could get it for you. But
And you can also go to Two Line and still purchase tickets, can't you? Okay.
look, we got tickets still $18 if you want to be able to get into the game,
Okay.
right? They got some tickets going up to $50 closer to the prime areas, but $18 to get into a game of this magnitude right now, man, do it. Bring your kids, bring them along. This is a great experience. It's the second one. It's going to be bigger, better. They got a lot of New Orleans entertainment that's going to be a part of it. They got some fan activation that's going to be outside of the stadium before the game. So get the kids involved, have a good time with your family and everything. So we're trying to do more this year to get everybody engaged.
got it, got
Yeah,
it.
man, I'm excited to see the game. There's a kid that doesn't get the recognition of the running back, Darius Higgins from
Higgins, oh
Virginia
man,
State University. Man, that
yeah,
kid's so exciting to watch, man.
yeah, man, he's very shifty, right?
Yeah,
Higgins has the speed, the size, and the mentality that you want in a
yeah,
running back. And
yeah,
there are a lot of teams like the New Orleans Saints that may need a running back these
yeah,
days, right?
Go need one.
So
yeah,
yeah, they're gonna need the help there, right?
yeah,
You gonna
So
be
you
out for
have
the
a
year.
guy like Higgins who's very good, man, a very
yeah,
good player.
yeah, yeah. There's some great kids that's playing in that game tomorrow, man. And I definitely want them to people to see because a lot of times they don't get the recognition TV wise or so I'm so glad that this game was decided to be played so it can showcase their talent. Another
Yeah,
thing I watched last week and I was really really glad to see at the Saints facility the combine. That was
right.
excellent. Yeah, that was excellent, man.
Yeah, that was a good move by the NFL because last year the HBCU Combine was at the Reese's Senior Bowl in Mobile, and they did it a whole week before the Senior Bowl even took place. This year, moving it to the HBCU Legacy Bowl, starting off the whole week long process on Monday at the New Orleans Saints facility was an ingenious move by Roger
Yeah,
Goodell and Doug Williams. So it was a great move, and those young men got great exposure.
yeah.
So I'm coach and Kyle. I'm gonna ask y'all this, man. Who the top NFL prospects as far as on the O line?
That would be Mark Evans
Mark
from
Evans.
University of Arkansas Pine Bluff.
And
He's
I
the he's
I'm
one of
sorry, go
the
ahead, Cal.
two guys that are going to be at the combine, the NFL combine.
Marcus
And
Evans, Pine
the
Bluff.
a guy I like is Jordan Johnson from Prairie View. You
Right.
know,
Prairie View.
yeah, big guy, very good feet work, good hands. Got to watch some tape on him and
Is,
everything.
is he a guard or tackle, coach?
He's a guard.
He's a guard, and we the Saints definitely need guard help, especially if they get rid of Andrews Pete, which I'm not a fan of. But everybody trying to convince me. I know the
And
man
then
gets hurt.
the other thing I'm really excited about is the guy who really taught me everything about football. My big brother is coaching, Eric Dooley.
Oh, okay.
Dooley taught me just about everything about football, man. Growing up
Yeah.
uptown in Carrollton.
Coach, you know what? I watched the press conference today, and I was looking at Eric. I was like, man, is that Eric used to coach us at Harrell?
Yeah,
That's who that is.
That's
Yeah.
coach.
And I'm saying, man,
Yeah.
that's Eric, man.
yeah,
And
New
then
Orleans.
that's Uptown, Carrollton, Harrell Park, man.
Mhm. yeah,
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That's a beautiful
Yeah.
thing,
Let's
man.
see. Coach graduated from Forshey, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
them Taubens right here.
We all graduates of Forsyth right here. Yeah,
Are you?
Them
All right,
Taubens,
yeah.
them Taubens right
Yeah.
here, baby.
Yeah,
You know?
man. And I needed to talk to him about that because I was 35, man. So I think
sorry for that, man.
well, we used to beat y'all, but that's
not in
okay.
the band, not in the band. I don't know what
What
football.
year
Oh,
did
come
you
on.
go- what year was it?
Come on.
35.
What year did you come out, though?
Y'all didn't stand a chance, brother.
What year did you come
Y'all
out?
didn't stand a chance. I came out in 91. I graduated in 91.
All right, so you were way after me, man. I came out in 84. I was drum
Yeah.
major.
Yeah.
And,
My
Okay,
cousin
so you were there.
he still got killed.
Tap, Eddie Foy,
84 and those guys.
Coach Pierce, Coach
Neil
Pierce.
Smith.
Yeah,
Neil
Neil.
Smith,
Yeah.
I feel y'all had some good
those are
football
years,
players.
but those are the years we used to roll over for shit. So,
Y'all never rolled. Y'all never
yes,
rolled
yes,
over.
sir.
Not
Go back,
in the
check the
band.
record.
Not in the band. I don't know nothing about the football
In the band
team.
is
Never
especially
that.
the
Oh,
band.
Never that. Never that.
Especially the band.
Hey,
See, after I left off, maybe y'all did something different. But when we
doing
were there with
something,
Mr. Harris,
we were beasts.
it was no contest, baby.
Well, let me tell you.
R.I.P. to Elijah Brimmer, man.
Let me,
Greatest band teacher ever, man.
Let me say this, Kyle. Congratulations to McDonald 35. I think you guys have a 150-year celebration coming up soon or whatever.
Coming up, man.
So congratulations to the Ron Eagles on that accomplishment.
That's great, man.
Yeah. Think about that, man. The deep history we have in New Orleans, man. Think about some of our schools that produce such legends from St. Alv to 35 from Forshade to Carter G, all over New Orleans, we have deep history.
Right.
We got to love it and respect it.
Exactly, man. Shout out to Nikki, Hall of Famer Nils Williams, Forshade.
DBU, Ashley Ambrose,
right.
Marie Hurst, Kevin Williams. Yeah, DBU.
How many Hall of Fames 35 got? Just one, Neil Smith. Huh? All right,
Neil ain't a part of the Hall of Fame yet, baby. But he got 2 rings. He
Neil
does
Smith
have
still
2
not in
Super
the
Bowl
Hall of Fame?
rings.
Hold
He's
on.
not in. He
One of
was
the
a
greatest
candidate this
defensive
year.
ends ever is
Yeah,
He
still
was a
not in the Hall of
candidate.
Fame.
He was a candidate last year and this year. I do know that, but he's not in the Hall of Fame.
I guys, I promise you, to this day, I could have swore Bruce Smith was a Hall of Famer.
No.
There is no way this man should not be in the Hall of Fame, as dominant as he was. Wow,
Look,
that's
man,
crazy.
some of these media guys have their own agendas.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
Skip,
that's the best way I can say it, man.
Skip Faker. You know, I don't know how some of them even get credentials, man.
No. Bruce Smith was inducted in 2009.
Yeah, I know. One.
Yeah, 2009.
Yeah, Bruce Smith in the Hall of Fame.
I thought he was. Yeah.
Yeah, you talking about Neil Smith?
Neil Smith played at 35.
Y'all talking about oh nah, man, that's the wrong Smith. That's why.
No, yeah, Neil, and I think he went on to play at Nebraska.
Yeah, the right Smith in. Yeah, oh yeah, that's I'm talking about.
And
bro.
Kansas City started with Kansas City,
Yeah.
you know, and
I remember Neil, man. He was he did some good things, man.
Yeah, Neil was a terror, man. Trust me.
Terror, man. He did his thing, man. I gotta give him credit now.
He has a good heart to him. I love Neil, man.
That's all that
good
matters,
guy, man.
Hey, man, good people come from New Orleans, man. We all know
right.
that. Despite what they say.
Straight up.
Man, so now let's get into the headache, man. These New Orleans Saints, man. First of all, man, let me just start off by asking one simple question. What the hell is going on? Because
nobody knows. That's
nobody
the best
knows.
thing I can say, man.
I mean,
it's weird.
I'm surprised, but happily so, because everybody on this show knows how fond I am of Ronald Curry. I was scared to death Ronald Curry was going to go to Denver with Sean Payton, who seems to be just trying to take everybody he can from the Saints organization. Dennis Allen just letting them go. He's getting the band back together with all his former coaches that he failed with. My thing is, as a defensive coordinator, I take nothing from Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen is a hell of a defensive coordinator. I knew Ryan Nielsen would lead, and eventually we knew Chris Richard would lead too. Coach came on here a few weeks ago and said that he had, his inside source that Nielsen and Richard, they'll come up with the game plan, and on Fridays, Dennis will come in there and change things around. So maybe that was what was ailing the defense early in the season.
I don't dispute that.
Mm-hmm.
But what I would say is this. You have guys like Sean Payton and Dennis Allen who also have big egos. And I don't care. I think majority of the NFL coaches, to be able to have that position, you have to have big ego. Right. Dennis Allen, that's his specialty. That's his bread and butter. Yeah. So I think he did take over the game plan and decide to make some changes here and there.
Mm-hmm. What about the rumors that he was actually putting his hand in on the offense? That possibly he was holding Pete Carmichael hostage, maybe wanting to play a certain way. Because you didn't hear anything about that.
Even look, my guy John Hendricks, who is my beat writer that is on with us at Saints News Network. They didn't get any indication that he was involved with the offense. Of course, he made some personnel changes, especially if you dropped the ball or if you fumbled the ball here or there. He would hold that against you. But that's just coaches. Bill Parcells did that as well. So I think right now they tried to give Pete Carmichael a lot of latitude to be able to call the plays, to make some of the offensive decisions. And I just think they had to kind of tweak things in the middle of the season, especially when Andy Dalton took over.
Yeah, because everything all summer was built around Jameis. Mm-hmm. And what is your assessment on the way that they treated Jameis Winston?
This is what I could tell you. And, I spoke to Jameis I think it was Monday. Monday, Jameson and I had an interview about the HBCU Legacy Bowl, right? Toward the end, off the record, Jameson still wants to be a part of the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, that came out today.
Yeah, he still wants to be a part of the New Orleans Saints. The thing is, it's a puzzling situation. When you tell a guy when he was injured, you're not going to lose your job, but then you say to the media as well as the public, Andy Dalton gives us the best chance to win, and you keep losing week after week after week. It's a strange situation altogether. Right. I'm not too sure, and this is my opinion, and I've said this in my articles. I'm not too sure Winston is the type of quarterback or his personality is the type that Dennis Allen feels comfortable with. That's all I can say.
Okay, I kind of
Coach kind of look at me like,
yeah, I got it. I got it too. A lot of people in the chat like, huh? Well, they got a lot of y'all got it too. Y'all know what it is.
Yeah, you understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah, right? I understand the ego. I know. We saw it. I kind of said it the other day, but you know, so Jameis is gone. To me, I think they're gonna release Jameis. I would love them to keep Jameis because I don't really see a better option out there because unless they go get Jimmy G, I don't think Derek Carr is coming. Today it said that he was looking for around $35 million a year. I think when he was here, the Saints asked him to take a pay cut to, I believe I saw something around 33. So they shouldn't balk at paying 35, but there are more teams we're told now that are starting to get involved.
When you have a situation where last season 14 teams started at least two quarterbacks in the league, 14 teams, that's a little less than half of the teams, right? You got to have a quality backup at least. You got to have somebody that you can be able to trust, that in case somebody goes down, they can be able to play a few games here and there. Now, I think right now, when you look at what's happening with the New Orleans Saints, do you keep Jameis? Well, they got to whittle down that salary cap that they're in salary cap hell right now. So they released, I guess, restructured at least 4 or 5 of the major contracts, and they're down $31.4 million right now, right? So Jameis poses a $12.8 million cap hit for the New Orleans Saints. But here's the caveat. If he's still on the team by the third day of the new season for 2023, which is March 17th, he gets $5.8 million guaranteed. If they keep him or if they cut him before June 1st, they are fully going to take that $12.8 million cap hit. If they cut him after June 1st, then they're off the hook for that cap hit. So do you pay him or allow him to stay on and pay him $5.8 million? Then you cut him later. You may want to say, yeah, because then you still save $7 million here and there, right?
So let me see if I understand this. So if they cut him before June the 1st, they will be on the hook for the $12 million.
$12.8 million against their cap.
Against the cap. But if they cut them after June 1st, the $5 million that will become guaranteed.
That goes to James.
That goes to James, but it won't go against their cap.
Correct.
So that's what when I hear them say June 1st designation, is that what a lot of teams do?
Right.
So it won't go against this year's cap.
Exactly.
Cap in the future.
Yeah, some teams can cut before June 1st, and that's indicative of the type of contract that is in place. It's mostly the veteran contracts, the ones that are vested after June 1st. It's better to cut those guys.
Okay. And with today, they say that they're on the cusp of re-signing to No Passion, which I think is a good move. when
Right.
healthy. He can play inside as well as the end to spell Cam. I think it's a make or break year for one Peyton Turner. One thing that had everybody puzzled in Who That Nation and me and Coach sitting on here, and we were trying to figure out how a number one draft pick was a healthy scratch during the season. A healthy scratch. You weren't on the injury report. You didn't even they didn't even dress you. To me, that's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't have any words for that other than it puzzled people in the media as well.
Wow. And with the re-signing of Tenor Passional, to me, the Marcus Davenport ship has sailed. Marcus Davenport will be in Atlanta or somewhere else. Is a
Yeah.
premium needed this year on edge rusher, so somebody's going to give him some money.
Yeah. Well, and think about this, man. Coming out the draft, even at the HBCU Legacy Bowl, I think the edge position has been one of the better positions, and some of the people project in the NFL draft that the edge position it has a more of an abundance. So I
It
think the
does.
Saints could be able to find somebody, right? You still have Carl Granderson,
Right.
who, he if
He
you put
came
him back
on.
there, he's grown and matured over the past couple of years in his role.
Right. He got better against the run. He started holding that edge better.
And you got
I'm
to
gonna
keep Cam Jordan.
oh, of course, man. Cam better retire, Saint, unless we go trade him to the Chiefs or somewhere where we go get him a Super Bowl ring. Um, Other than that, no. Now, one thing, what I was about to say. Oh, okay. So Davenport's gone, and you said this year's draft does have an abundance of pass rushers. Now, I don't know if this kid will be there at 40, but I like Isaiah Foskey from Notre Dame. I think if that kid's there at 40, I think that'll be a nice pick for the Saints at 40. After they draft Herndon Hooker, but they're gonna have to move up if they want to because the Raiders love them too. There are
Yeah.
a lot of
What
teams
about the
that love
kid
them.
from Florida, Anthony? Was it Richardson?
That's
The
to
quarterback.
me that's the biggest boom or bust in this draft. Either he's gonna boom or he's gonna be a big bust. Coach, what was your thoughts on the coach on Anthony Richardson from Florida?
Me personally, I thought he should have stayed another year at Florida.
Hmm.
But some team may can take him and just kind of be patient with him.
Mm.
So it kind of. But let me ask you this, Kyle: if not Derek Carr, just from maybe your sources or just from you, what's another name to look at quarterback that the Saints may
Lord,
possibly
please don't
try
say
to
Baker
sign as free
Mayfield.
agent?
Please don't say Baker Mayfield.
No, me personally, I don't think Baker is a good fit, and that's a good question, Coach. Right now, the pickings are few. Let's be honest. There's not really a lot out there to say, let's go after this guy because he can immediately change our locker room as well as our hopes to be able to win a Lombardi trophy. So what do you do? Do you actually make a deal or you try to get a guy like Lamar if he doesn't sign that exclusive franchise tag that's out there because they've been toying around with the fact that they're going to do a non-exclusive on him.
Hmm.
I don't know. There's very few guys that I will hang my hat on to say, yes, come back to New Orleans. Now, the Saints are very conservative when they play these type of games here, as far as who's going to come in and who's not. And all indications kind of point back to Andy Dalton as a possibility to re-sign for
Told
the
you.
Saints.
I told y'all.
So I'm just saying, they went after Derek Carr last season. They went after Deshaun Watson. They weren't able to get him. We're not too sure what's going to happen with Carr, but like you said, the odds are starting to stack up against it.
Yeah, Marty Moore says some people have the Saints trading for Mac Jones. I saw that
Yeah, I heard
also
about
with
that
Jerry.
as well.
Yeah,
I read some things about Mac Jones, but here's the thing, man. if you're going to have a team like Belichick and whomever to get rid of a one starter, why would you want that has been starter? That's
Gotcha.
just my thought. And Justin Fields, I don't think Justin Fields should be on even on the market.
I don't
You
think he
know,
should either. It'll
yeah.
take too
So
much to go get him. To move
right,
up
you
to the
know,
man, that's too much.
so I think the Saints, if they're going to stay true to who they are, Dolphin coach, I think they're going to probably re-sign Andy Dalton. Now, could
I'm
they
laughing.
possibly still re-sign Jameis Winston? Yeah, if something falls through the cracks, there's still that possibility. But I don't know right now. If you're Jameis, do you really want to come back to the Saints?
Mm. All right, Kyle. We kind of went over this the other night. I'm gonna put 5 quarterbacks on up here, and then your thought of them as a fit with the Saints. Of course, first is this man here. Do you
Yeah,
think
I think
what's
Carr
the
can fit.
percentage? What's the percentage you think of him landing with the Saints?
The percentage probably around 51%.
51%. 51%. Okay. Now I'm gonna leave my dog off a lot. To me, this is the obvious choice to me. I think I think it's Jimmy G.
Jimmy G may have his choice of going to other teams who have a similar system that he's familiar with. You know, the
Okay.
Raiders might be where Jimmy
Yeah,
G could
I
land.
heard that. I heard possibly that too. All right. Now, if this guy becomes available probably after June 1st, Ryan Tannehill.
Tannehill is he's an intriguing figure because he has the arm strength, he has the ability to win games. He's brought the Titans to close to the AFC Championship, right?
Right, right.
Um, there's something still about Tannehill that's not getting him over the hump.
Okay.
What is that? Could Pete Carmichael bring it out of him? And that's the whole thing about our offensive structure right now. Can you have somebody who could be able to groom a quarterback and get them to the next level? And I thought really the Saints could have given Ronald Curry the opportunity to do some play calling this year. But that's just me from the outside looking
Right.
in.
Well, shout out our brother Ross Jackson, who today said that Ronald Curry will this preseason for 2 games be calling plays. And I've been on here saying, first of all, Pete Carmichael didn't want the job. He wanted a lesser role. So my thing is, why not promote Ronald Curry? Even now, what's wrong with Pete Carmichael stepping back, allowing Ronald Curry to be the primary play caller, just assist him in coming up with the game plan, but just let the kid go out there and show what he's got.
Hmm.
I'm definitely on board. I just think Ronald Curry is going to be a success. I think he is a bright young coach with a bright future, and he's well respected around the league. After the Senior Bowl, we heard nothing but good things.
Right.
He interviewed for Tampa Bay's OC. Then Sean Payton interviews him.
Right.
Um, my thing is maybe why he didn't go to Denver with Sean, and one reason that popped in my mind was it'll kind of be reversed like it is with Woods and Dennis Allen. If he would have went to Denver, Sean's going to be the primary play caller. So why not stay here in New Orleans? They're gonna start letting you call plays this preseason, and who knows? Maybe they are sitting down the brain trust, and maybe that's the way they're going. Who knows?
Well, okay. Let me throw this scenario out to you, Dolphin coach.
Okay.
Let's say the Saints go 2-3 to start the season, and the offense is stagnant. What do you do as
Got
far
to,
as your coaching is concerned?
I got to turn around the curve. I got to see the kid got. You have
Coach,
to.
what do you think?
Oh man, I kind of was leaning between firing the head coach.
Yeah, of
So
course, we do that.
sometimes at this point in that juncture, unless Dennis Allen goes 0-4, I don't think he's going to ever get fired by
Ever.
the New Orleans Saints organization in the middle of the season.
Okay.
What I can say is this: Ronald Curry is positioning himself for his future. If it's still with the New Orleans Saints or is going to be elsewhere, he's positioning himself. Now, a name that you guys may not be talking about a lot of is DJ Williams. You
I
know
was just
who
about to
he
Yeah,
say
is?
that.
Doug's son.
I was just
Yeah.
about to say his name.
Doug's son. And what did he do in the Senior Bowl? Who did he coach? The quarterbacks who
Backs.
won the game. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Ronald Curry and Doug's son, DJ, work hand in hand together, guys. You notice he hasn't left either.
Right. Just a little
Okay?
nugget, family. Just a little nugget.
Just
All right.
keep your eye on that, man.
I will.
Just keep your
All
eye. DJ
right.
has a bright future as well.
All right. Now I got another one I'm gonna throw up here. I threw we had a vote on this player here, and it was a unanimous no. It was the family threw a no hitter at this player. Carson Wentz.
Okay, so it's a no, but I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't take a flyer out on.
I mean, they took it on Andy Dalton, so Carson Wentz. But this coach say no. Everybody, this is who I want. I think this is the person. Danny Dimes. Give me Danny Dimes.
Danny Dimes is getting paid, man. He's gonna be Danny
Yeah,
Dollars pretty soon.
yeah, Kyle, my guy didn't make his list. I like Huntley from Baltimore.
Huntley is
I
overrated.
love
Huntley.
Huntley. I love Huntley.
Did you coach?
Yeah.
Did you watch Huntley this season?
I love Huntley. I love
What you lied
everything
about him, coach? What you
He
lied
was-
about him?
He made the Pro Bowl.
Come on, man. That was by what? Subtraction? Come on.
He made it though.
Man, he is not a franchise quarterback. He's nothing but a stopgap. He's a waste of time. You gonna trade assets for Huntley? If he that good, won't Baltimore just go ahead and let Lamar Jackson walk then? Which it looked like he gonna walk anyway.
Yeah.
Speaking of that,
Huntley is a good guy, a good prospect, and I think right now a lot of NFL teams consider him just as a backup quarterback.
that's all he is. He's that toy that you have on Christmas that's sitting in the corner all shiny and stuff. You ain't rough up yet. It look good till you start playing with it and realize it ain't made of good quality.
Right. Guess
Start
what?
breaking
I'll take that toy any day and bring it all day and play with it.
Coach say he'll take a shot on him.
I'll take a
hear you.
shot.
All right, coach. All right, coach. You the offensive coordinator for the Saints. They get you Huntley. How would you use him?
Kyle just gave it to you. You give the offense to Ronald. You let DJ step up, and you build an offense similar to what Baltimore did with Lamar. You RPOs. You put him in role. You build that offense around him to where it's moving, it's misdirection, RPOs, and you get somebody the offense that can take a quarterback with his ability, and you just go with it. I mean, you build it around him, but it can't be just where he's just a drop back passer. No, you got to have somebody with creativity.
He's a pure pocket guy.
Right.
I agree with you.
Right. He's not that. So you give it to somebody with creativity, like a Ronald and DJ, and I guarantee you, the Saints make the NFC Championship game.
Family, y'all know Coach rode on the float Tuesday, and he was still riding on the float Wednesday with that hint. He probably got some hint in that cup
This
right now.
I'm hydrated.
What
still.
He still hydrated. That hint still in his system because he hallucinating right now. If he think Huntley gonna come and take the Saints to the
With Huntley,
man,
Shaheed, Olave,
Coach, stop it.
and you go get another receiver.
What about the running back? Who gonna play running back? because everybody get 8 to probably the season. They
I
probably
told
get
you.
cut down to 8 games.
Well, I told you the running back I love. I love the kid from Texas A&M.
Ooh.
The front from Texas A&M or Texas B?
No, Texas
No,
A&M.
A&M. He's talking
Which
Devon.
guy?
Devon.
Devon. Hold
Okay,
on.
yeah, he's a good running back. He's a
Yeah.
good running back. Yeah, he's.
But like
I've
I
seen him
said,
in action
yeah, like I
here
said
in
with
Texas.
Anthony, though, you have to be creative. He's not somebody gonna sit back in the pocket. No, if you're gonna just put him in the pocket, no. It has to be somebody with an offensive mind with creativity. Something similar to what Philadelphia does with your boy, man. You got to move him around.
Do you guys feel as though the Saints lack creativity? Is that what
Yes,
plagued them
yes,
Yeah,
last
they had
season? And why
yes.
do you believe that there was a lack of creativity?
no identity. They didn't know they talked about being a running team, but week after week, they didn't. I mean, first half, Shaheed and Taysom Hill are involved in the game. They're making big plays. In the second half, they're standing on the sidelines next to the old coach and the offensive coordinator. I don't. They just never established identity
And
to me.
and
Go ahead, bro.
not just that. If you watch Sean Payton with his offense, he would study and he would find the defensive weakness and go at it game day.
Mhm.
If it was a mismatch with the running back going out in the flat or something like that, you saw none of that last year.
Yeah.
You saw none of that.
Look, I'm not going to knock Pete Carmichael, and sometimes when you're in a system for a long period of time, and now you're called on to be the man, so to speak. It's a difficult transition, and I'm not too sure if that was some of the, how do I phrase this? If that was some of the reasons why we didn't see Jameis back into play as well. Uh, there could have been some disconnect there on how to communicate, how to motivate the guy. Sean can motivate anybody, right?
Right.
So I think Sean could have taken Jameis, put him on the shelf, let him rest up, get healthy again, and bring him back and be effective. I'm not too sure if the coaching staff, other than the Pete Carmichael and Dennis Allen, were patient enough to do that. You know, I think Ronald Curry could have helped out, and I think that's one of the areas why they now see Ronald Curry has the ability. So we're going to give him more responsibility as a result. But C.J. Johnson was saying this a couple of years ago about Curry, that
Mhm.
he had that about the ability to do this. And I just think right now they're in a situation where either you give this guy some responsibility, see what he can do, or we're going to stay pat with Pete Carmichael and
Watch him walk and go somewhere else. Um,
right, right.
and what disappointed everybody with Pete Carmichael was it's like he had a dress rehearsal to a 2011, 2012 when he was the primary play caller. But of course, what this season did show was he had another coach on the field, a Hall of Fame quarterback who made his life extremely easy. Um,
Yeah, yeah. But Drew Brees made a lot of those
right.
guys' lives easier,
Made
right?
Sean Payton
If
life
you
easy. That's why he left.
if you have a quarterback
Right.
that can take you deep into the postseason, you have the top tier. And you look at Patrick Mahomes, you look at Josh Allen, you look at guys, uh, Jalen Hurts, you look at the guys who went into the postseason. You also look at their age as well. There's no longer the elder statesmen that are dominating this playing field going deep into the playoff. So you have to be able to find a guy that fits your model, fits your program, and be able to groom them and say, hey, here's the reins and see what you can do with it. Right. So right now, I think the Saints have to be able to draft somebody who they can be able to say this guy has the potential to be able to lead us 2, 3 years from now
Okay.
into the promised land, so to speak. Because if you don't have that young guy, I don't think they planned well for life after Drew Brees. I don't think they planned well for life after Sean Payton as well. So that's why the Saints are kind of stuck in this bewildering place of who do we go with and what's going to be our future.
Kyle, let me ask another question if I could, and it's concerning Michael Thomas. Do you think he plays a significant role in the quarterback the Saints may look at as far as a quarterback, a free agent quarterback? And what I mean by that is because when the top tier free agent quarterbacks look at their receiving core, they want to know who are my receivers.
Right.
So do you think that the Saints keep him around, say, well, hey, we have Michael Thomas going to be here, Shaheed, Olave. So do you think he's in the plan? I know they just restructured his contract. Moving forward, will he be in the plans? And is he someone that the Saints present and say, hey, well, you want to know who the receivers are? Well, you have Thomas and these other guys to also to help, bring these top tier free agent quarterbacks in.
Again, coach, and I hate to keep on saying this, nobody knows, man, because
Okay.
Michael Thomas, when you go to restructure a guy's contract, you are restructuring it either for one or two reasons: to be able to find a way to find an out,
Right.
or restructuring the guy because you see long term potential. Uh, the best ability is availability, and over the past several seasons, he lacked the durability to stay on the field, right?
Okay.
And Michael Thomas doesn't bite his tongue for many people. And right now, man, he said a lot of things that has caused people to be concerned in that front office. I personally would keep Michael Thomas, but Michael Thomas also has to have the type of quarterback that can get him the football, right?
Right.
And you saw Jameis Winston, Michael Thomas, how they dominated. I was in the press box in Atlanta, and I saw that comeback. And if it were not for Jameis Winston and Michael Thomas, the Saints would have lost that game. Bottom line, all right. And Michael Thomas is the type of guy that can take over a game. So if you have an elite wide receiver, my opinion, you keep him, right?
Right.
Yeah, Jim Everett's comment, same
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
same
And
thing.
he puts it at the feet of Mickey Loomis, Sean Payton, the whole organization. They didn't plan, man. They didn't.
Well,
I mean, not even. I mean, we all are saying Mickey is Mickey. It's Jeff Allen, and it was Sean Payton. For all that Sean Payton did, a lot of people were calling him a quarterback guru. What quarterback did Sean draft here with the Saints that he ever developed? Nobody. He always went on and got a veteran backup. He drafted Ian Book was a bust. The kid from what's the kid name? That's how garbage he is. I can't remember the kid name. That's how garbage he is. He
yeah,
never developed, man.
yeah. Sean did not have a good track record when it comes to drafting quarterbacks. They did not. And it's a really, how do I say this? Sometimes it's better to be able to have a quarterback that you know who's capable. That's why they decided to go after Drew Brees. That's why when it came to trying to get Patrick Mahomes in that draft, that's what they really wanted to get him and draft him. It was only because Andy Reid jumped over the Saints.
He talked.
That's why he became a chief,
He
right?
talked too much. He to me he let it be known too much how
Yeah,
much
he
he
did.
he like
He
he
did.
like. I think he made 2 or 3 trips to Texas Tech to work him
And
out.
remember, he also wanted Lamar Jackson.
He didn't want Lamar.
Yes, he did.
Why didn't he draft him? He was right there on the board.
I know that personally. They wanted Lamar Jackson.
Kyle, why didn't they draft him? He was right there on the board. Why would they go and get Davenport if they wanted him and he was right there to draft? Was he overruled? Wow. Wow.
I'm just letting you know he was high
Wow.
on Lamar Jackson.
And so Sean got shut down. Wow.
I don't know what happened in the draft room.
What I
I can
heard,
just tell you what he wanted.
I heard what's the GM now in Atlanta that was with New Orleans?
Terry Fontenot.
Terry
Fontenot was high on Davenport when he was in the Saints organization. I think he kind of baited the Saints into two draft Davenport. From what I heard, he was real high on Davenport.
But even if Terry was high on him, you needed they knew that events that Drew's time was coming to an end. You had a bona fide talent right there. And I believe Sean was on Rich Eisner's show. And you just broke the news to us that we wouldn't have known. Evidently, he got outvoted, I guess you can say.
I don't know what happened again, guys, and I don't know why they decided to go defensive end. But bottom line right now is history.
No,
Lamar went to the Ravens. Ravens were very happy, ecstatic, to be able to get him. But the Saints had two guys who are not elite quarterbacks that were on their radar that they could have, would have, should have got.
All right. So let me ask you this: Can they right that wrong this offseason? Because I don't think Lamar's going back to the Ravens. I think they're going to trade him. Now remember what we were talking about with the non-exclusive and the exclusive. So let me see if I finally got this. If they attach the exclusive tag to him, that means he's not able to go out and negotiate with other teams. That teams will have to go through the Ravens and basically give up what they want to get him. Now, even if they give him that exclusive franchise tag and he doesn't sign it, how does that work?
He has a number of days to be able to sign the tag, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then if he doesn't sign it after a specific time, I think he can't negotiate a new contract.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still in the favor of the team versus the player.
Okay. Now, the non-exclusive, he will be allowed to go out, negotiate with teams, and say he finds a team that he would like to go to, and that team comes up with a contract and puts I guess what they call a poison pill in it, knowing that the Ravens can't match it, and all the Ravens will be able to get is the 2-1s. They couldn't add anything else to that package, could they? Could they get anything besides those 2-1s?
I think they can match it, right?
They can match. That's
they have rights to match it, but
if they don't match it,
the draft choices are for the next season.
They get 2 number 1s, I believe.
I believe so.
Yeah, man. So they'll get 2 number 1s, but they won't be able to add anything to that draft package that they'll get back. The trade package, it'll just be those 2 number 1s. So if they, like you saying, so it'll be in their favor to do the exclusive tag and then work out a trade with said team that wants to trade for Lamar. All right.
Well, and that's up to the front office. I don't know if the owner wants to go that direction. What's hurting Lamar is this. Lamar is representing himself. And I've talked to a couple of guys, and I've listened to a former GM explain this process. The general managers and owners want to deal with agents, not directly with the players. They want to be able to say certain things to the agents that they can't say to the players. They want to be able to have these type of backroom type of conversations that they don't want to have directly with the player. That has hurt him in their minds. It doesn't mean that it's right. I think
Right.
it's ludicrous because if you have a guy like Lamar, you want to be able to see if you can be able to make this work out. I just think right now you have both the Ravens who are scratching their heads trying to figure, do we keep this guy or do we allow him to walk? Because in our opinion, I think he is we got some durability issues that we need to account for because the past couple of seasons he did not really finish the season with us, right?
Right.
So those are the things that I think the Ravens are probably using against him. Yeah, Richard Sherman negotiated his own contract, but Richard Sherman was not a top tier quarterback, and Richard Sherman didn't also ask for $40+ million. So,
Right.
I mean,
And
there are a lot of guys who are negotiating their contracts. It's not being disclosed, but there are a lot of guys who do not have agents who help to, because the NFLPA does help you if you want to go that route in helping to negotiate your own contract.
the Saints were in on Deshaun Watson, and me and Coach brought it up the other night. Why not being on Lamar Jackson? You were going to pay 200,000 for Deshaun Watson. Why not pay for Lamar Jackson?
Yeah,
I
good
mean,
question.
could that be what they are restructuring and trying to do right now? It could be.
Well, I think they're probably what 2 or 3 contracts away
Oh
from
wait,
getting under the cap.
right. They may have to touch. They might have to touch Latimore's renegotiate.
Lattimore
Lattimore,
and
um,
Cam Jordan.
Cam, and see they figure out what they're gonna do with Andrews P. Because I think he has like a what $12 million cap hit, if I'm not mistaken. So
Something to
yeah,
that nature.
so
Yeah.
something to that nature. Yeah. So those 3 contracts right there will get them under the cap. Because they saved today, they save what? They saved about 10 with Ron Ramchak when they renegotiated his contract. Um, and they saved about 3-4 million with if with Will Lutz, if I'm
Let's
not
see. Right
mistaken.
now, okay, they saved 4.9 million with Marcus May, 10 million with Eric McCoy, 10.34 million with Ryan Ramchek, 1.5 million from Will Lutz, and 4.7 million with Teron Matthew.
So that's what? That's almost 30 million right there, right?
That's 31.4 million.
31.4 million, and they were what? 56 over.
50 is it 56,
So they
57,
got to come
something to that
25,
nature.
about 25 million more. They need to
Right.
come up. So Cam, Lattimore, and Andrews Pete. Those 3 will do it right there. Now, what we like to do, call is we like to open up the chat and let any family member come on and ask you one question. We want to know before I do it, make sure it's okay with you.
Oh yeah, come
Uh,
on.
all right, y'all say, hey, Kyle said, come on in. So I'm putting the link in. Whoever want to come on and ask Kyle question, the floor is yours. So there you go, family. The link is now in the chat. OG, AK the scientist, JT, David, anybody want to come on? The floor is now open, my guys. Come on in.
Hey, I have a question, Coach. What positions are did you coach, or were you a head coach, or what?
Uh, I started off really park ball recreation head coaching. Then I moved up to coaching at St. Aug. I was the running back coach, 7th, 8th grade. Then I went to linebacker. So linebacker's position is my position coach.
All right, awesome, man.
Linebacker coach. Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
Now, Kyle, how high were the Saints on DeMarco Jackson before he got hurt? Because we were hearing that they had big plans for that kid, the young man linebacker from Appalachian State.
Mm-hmm. So what's the question? How high were they
I
on him?
mean, I mean, as far as using that, they had big plans with him. That they thought. Well, I'm hearing that they thought this kid could be very special.
Yeah, I mean, you saw it in what training camp
Hmm.
that he had the ability. I just don't.
That
I
was my
think
guy.
this year is going to be the really telltale year on what he can do. He's going to have some competition, man, because if they bring back Caden Ellis and Pete Warner, this is really going to be some competition out there in the linebacker spot.
I'm not too sure we bring Kid. I don't think Kid Nelly re-signing with the Saints.
Yeah, he may have some other suitors, man.
Yeah.
So
So how much are you willing to pay Caden Ellis? Are you willing to pay Caden Ellis 10, 12 million a year?
I think he's a Dennis Allen guy, and I think Dennis Allen may go to bat for him.
Okay. Pelicans know the Baltimore Ravens don't want to guarantee Lamar Jackson contract like the Browns did. All right, we got our first family member on with Kyle. Y'all know who it is. It's that old OG. Well, y'all know we call him Uncle Jerry. Uncle Jerry, you live with Kyle.
What up? What
What's
up?
going
What up?
on,
What's
Jerry?
going on? What's going
What's
on?
happening, Jerry?
All is well. All is well. But I got a question for Coach Ryan.
Yes, sir.
Uh, dude, what's up with the Kansas City Chiefs shirt?
Can I tell
I
him,
just
Coach?
just
It's a
just,
shirt.
just asking the question.
It's
Can
a
I tell him?
shirt.
Can I tell him, Coach?
Go ahead.
All right, y'all. Coach came back to his senses this year. Well,
I
first of
was a
all, hold
I
on.
was a die-hard Kansas City fan.
First of all, he really lost his mind because before he went to the Chiefs, y'all, Coach abandoned us for that team with that black and red in Georgia, y'all. So
Falcons.
yeah, he's a Falcon. He was out there, and he called his little brother Dolphin. I had to talk to him, get his mind right. He like Dolphin coming back home, But he liked Kansas City as his other team. So Kansas City, the
Okay.
other team he rocked with, man. So he kind of sitting over there like he got another ring, but it's all good. So it's all good, man. I can't say nothing. I rock with the boys, so I'm married to a Cowboy fan. So
Oh
I rock.
Lord, God help.
I rock with
Help
the
him, help him.
listen, man, I cried on the catch, man. I like the Cowboy, man. But when his head to head ain't no contest. Y'all see what's behind me.
Yeah, I
All
know.
right, Jerry. So what's your question for Kyle, my brother?
Well, first off, Mr. Kyle T. Mosley, how you
What's
doing
going on,
tonight?
Jerry? How you doing?
I always want to do that. I did it. I did it to Bob Rose, so I'm gonna do it to Kyle T. Mosley. Saints fans and who that's from all over the world.
That's
It's
right. That's my
time for the
calling card.
Bayou Blitz, y'all. With
Saints
Mr.
fans and
Bob
who that's
Rose
from
and
all
Kyle
over the
T.
world.
Mosley.
Yes. That's how you do
I
it.
always wanted to do that. But as
I
far
miss doing that with the Bayou Blitz, though, Jerry. I miss you guys. And Jerry was always a faithful listener, man. So good to hear your voice.
Jerry's
yes, sir.
everywhere,
Good to see you too, sir. But I heard you mention earlier about the HBCU Legacy Bowl, which is Saturday at 3. From a New Orleans Saints perspective, what guys are you looking at the Legacy Bowl on Saturday? What team? What guys are you keeping like an eye contact on?
Well, I can tell you one guy that the Saints really need to focus in on is Everett, the tight end from Bethune-Cookman. Big,
Okay.
strong,
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't really understand how he plays the game. When he's in game action mode, he's like a Darren Waller for the Raiders.
Okay.
So that's a guy that the
Okay.
Saints should look at. Look at Deshaun Nugget Warren from the cornerback position from Jackson State. He ran a
All right.
4.38. He's 6'1". He's
Ooh.
got arms and he looks the part and he's got swag because who taught him for all those years? Coach Prime. So,
I
I mean,
mean, I'm a pause you right there, Mr. Kyle T, because I'm good. You know I got say that T one more time, because I just want to hear it one more time.
Coach Prime. That's what it said.
Say it's you, baby.
He said the coach.
I had to address the Southern fans.
Oh, Jackson State University. Yeah.
Sir, the Sonic Boom of the South. Don't hate, appreciate it. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. And if you didn't know, now you know. I love y'all, chat. I love y'all.
Hey Jerry, I want you to keep that same energy next year when y'all go 2-9. Same energy, because them days over with for y'all.
Something wrong with you.
Yeah. I said it too, TJ. It's over with for y'all. It's over. That's right. It's over for y'all.
Look. Coach Prime may be gone, but JSU still gonna run the swag. That's right. I said it. I called it. I predicted it. So don't hate.
Running no swag before Prime got there. Stop it, man. Stop
it.
Stop it.
Let's get it. I had to get on them, Kyle. I had to get on them because they look. After they lost one of them bowl games, man, them jokers come out like roaches, bro. I'm talking about Grambling. I'm talking about Southern. Talking about Alcorn, Mississippi Valley, FAMU. All them come out the closet.
All right. So you believe that that TC Taylor will take them to the SWAC championship once again?
I think they will.
Okay.
I think they will. Look, and let me clear the elephant in the room, Mr. Kyle T. Mosley and everybody. The only reason why I was going with Jackson State because my father went there back in the mid '70s.
Okay.
All right.
Because he went up there in 1975. I think the year after Walter Payton got drafted by the Chicago Bears.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So he went up there at 75 after he left at 74.
I'm proud of you, Jerry. Representing your pop school like that, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm proud of you, man.
Now, Dolph, you went to Southern?
All my family went to. All my brothers went to Southern. So I was on campus. I just wasn't enrolled.
And Coach, you Grambling. All right.
Yes, sir.
My dad went to Southern. So I grew up a SU fan, a Jags fan.
God.
You too was, bro.
My
it's all right.
You see, Dolph got a smile on his face, Coach Rock.
Got the hater in that red, bro.
Hold on, Coach Rock. Hold on, Coach Rock. My godfather and my uncles played for Coach Rob. So, all right. So I was I had a family that was kind of torn.
Yeah, in between. Gotcha. They were torn on Bayou Classic Day, baby. It was.
Yeah.
So, Kyle, let me ask you this, Kyle. Uncle Jerry's talking about with the Saints. What do you think about with this classic? What do you think about the kid? Possibly he getting drafted by the Saints, but I think he would be something they would have to develop. Andrew Farmer, the DN out of Lane College.
Yeah, he's been showing up pretty good. You know who else? Joshua Pryor.
Okay.
Has been showing up pretty good as well. So look at him. There was another DN that looked really good as well. But Joshua Pryor, look, the kid came ready because he lost 40 pounds just to get to the combine and to the Legacy Bowl. So that shows you some commitment there, right? Mm-hmm. And there was another, look at a guy named Torrey Cooper. A lot of people don't really have him high on their list, but I watched him play here in the Houston area for Texas Southern for the past couple of seasons, man. That kid is the leader. He was the leader of the defense for those guys, and he was a playmaker. So he's a linebacker, a little bit heavier, but he could possibly be a guy that can come off the edge at times as well, kind of what James Houston was able to do as well.
And there's another kid, I think he was I know he's been having good practice, Devin Howard, the D lineman from North Carolina ENT. He's been another kid, man.
6'2", 240 pounds.
yeah,
Yeah, he's a good guy. Check out that kid, Ronald Johnson. That's another name people need to key in on. The guy from Virginia Union, big
I
guy,
heard a lot about
6'4".
Hmm.
He
Okay.
got some length to him as well, man. So check him out.
Is he
And
DN? He an edge?
no, he's a lineman.
He's a
He's,
line. Okay.
yeah, interior.
Interior.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Which we need help at.
Right. So I like those
Yeah.
guys, and he's playing for, let's see, Team Gaither. Yeah, Team Gaither. He's on Team Gaither, which is what? Dooley. No, Dooley is on Robinson, right?
Yeah,
Or is he
Yeah,
on
that
Lee?
is right there.
yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Mhm.
Dooley and Barry on team Robinson and Hayes and Oliver on team Gaither.
So,
Right.
Kyle, I think this kid is going to be a rising star at cornerback eventually in the NFL. Malik Johnson, the cornerback out of Central State. I love his aggressiveness toward the ball, man. I really love that kid.
Yeah, if they can pick him up as a rookie free agent, that would be pretty good. I don't think he's going to get drafted. And I only say this is because a lot of the scouts haven't been talking about him at all, man. But I do like his swagger. I do like his confidence that he has, and he presents himself well. Look at a guy. We want to stay defense.
Yeah, what about the
Oh,
DB from Grambling?
Yeah, Estes. Right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I like Estes. Estes, he had that big play in the Bayou Classic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Estes is a good guy, and I saw him firsthand playing against Texas Southern, man. So yeah, I like him. And also, you got to look at Bowler. Now, Bowler, to my understanding, he's a little shorter than anybody else, but he's a playmaker. He can also be a guy that can do punt returns and kick returns as
Right.
well.
Right.
But
He can do it
Bowler,
all.
yeah, he's a pretty good guy. Now, this is the guy that's so underrated that people really need to focus in on. Claudine Sherrillis out of Alcorn, the linebacker.
Claudine.
6'2", Claudine Sherrillis. The man can play some ball. 6'2", 230. He took over one of the games against Prairie View when Prairie View was leading. That second half, he took over the game and harassed the quarterback, made some plays, caused a couple of fumbles, if I'm not mistaken, as well. And they won that game. For the Jackson State game, remember Jackson State was up a little bit on Alcorn. Sherrillis was the guy that started harassing Shadur. So this guy has good sideline to sideline speed, and he has a great motor to him, and he's a smart player.
How you spell that
Very
kid's
underrated.
name? How you spell his name?
Cherelus.
And what do you think
Sherrillis.
about Bryant, the linebacker from Tennessee State?
Yeah, I like him, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a good kid. Yeah, we got some good talent, man. I'm telling you.
They definitely do.
And guys, don't forget Edna Carr products. Skylar Perry, quarterback from Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Right.
He's going to be playing. You got Glendon McDaniel from Southern. Remember, it was him who brought Southern back in the SWAC championship.
Right.
Nearly pulled off the upset against Jackson State, man. So, there's some good talent out there. Maurice Washington from Grambling. He's another one. Look at him. Xavier Smith, of course, everybody's high on what he's been able to accomplish and his speed from FAMU. So there's some good talent that's going to be represented.
Right. Yeah, I like the kid, the linebacker Woodley from Tuskegee. Another one.
Tuskegee guy, yeah. Coach Ruffin did a great job coaching him.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm trying to find a video on the kid right now.
Which one?
On Claudine.
Sherilis is his
Yeah.
last name. Yeah, out of Alcorn.
So what was Kyle? How did his practice go? The lineman from Southern, the D lineman,
Dumas
Dumas,
or
Dumas,
Lewis. Well, both of them
Dumas,
did well.
Jason. Yeah, Jason.
Yeah, Jason
Dumas.
Dumas did
Yeah.
well. Man, they even had Jason playing a little bit fullback on some
Oh,
plays.
wow. Okay.
Think about that big guy coming at you,
Right. Yeah, that's a
clearing how
big
the
guy there.
lane,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
And that shows you how athletic he is. You know, he has a low center of gravity. He's a big guy, but he's pretty nimble on his feet.
Right. 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 Right.
So let me ask you guys this: how big of a need is it for the Saints to get another receiver out this draft if Michael Thomas doesn't return? Even if Michael Thomas returns.
There's some good products out there, man. It just depends upon what the Saints scouting department, and that's Jeff Ireland, what he wants. If Jeff Ireland gave some clues at the Senior Bowl when he said
Yes.
he's looking at dual threat type of guy like Hooker or whomever, Richardson or somebody to that nature. That's what the National Football League is going through. You know, you have to have a quarterback that's athletic enough to be able to get away,
Right.
mobile enough to be able to see his way through the pocket, and smart enough to be able to get it to his receivers, either if it's the second or third choice, right? So
Right.
you have to have guys like that to be able to bring your team along. And I think right now the Saints have to be able to find somebody. If it's not in the first round, at least in the second or third round. Well, they don't have a third round. There's second round
Right.
to be able to
Right.
find somebody right now.
Right. I caught wind of that also when he said that, and like he said, I love dual threats quarterbacks. So I told the family maybe the Saints are switching directions now. Let's pay attention what Jeff is saying. But he also said that quarterback also has to be able to pass the ball when he can't use his legs. So the biggest boom or bust to me is like I said, the kid from Florida, Richardson. I'm with
Mm-hmm.
Coach. I think he should have stayed another year, worked on his mechanics, his timing, his accuracy. I just think he came out too early.
Well, I agree. Um, so who else would you like, Coach? Who else do you see as a possibility?
Quarterback or position
Yeah,
wise,
quarterback wise.
I love. I've been telling Dolph this. I've been a Hooker fan since day one. If he clears medically, I just love everything about the kid, man. He spins the ball well, big. He can move. I just love it. Now another kid I also like as receiver. If Mike was to leave, is at Tennessee. Cedric Tillman,
Mm-hmm.
the same mold of Michael Thomas. Strong hands, big physical receiver.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah. Good
Yeah,
choices, man.
yeah,
Good
Cedric
choices.
Tillman is nice, man.
See, here's the deal. After Young, Stroud, and Richardson and Hooker, and there's a drop off.
Go ahead. I'm
There's a
sorry.
drop off there, man,
Right,
and
right,
there's not too many other guys that you could say you can feel comfortable will be an elite quarterback within the next couple of years.
right,
But you know, nobody thought Brock Purdy was going to do what he's done.
right,
Right.
right,
Right? You know, so I always think it's the quarterback, and if you get with the right system, I just don't know
exactly.
what's the
That's the thing.
system
That
that we have in New
exactly.
Orleans,
Right,
right?
right,
So um, I would have said a guy like the kid from Fordham. You know, people say Fordham. I mean, the kid threw a lot of passes. You know, did a lot of stuff. You know, but he's a short guy. You
right,
know, um,
About what, 5'11"?
Yeah, I think they say around six
About 6.
feet and 3/4, something like that.
Okay.
So he's not a big guy. He's like a Drew Brees type. Then you got the guy from Georgia, Stetson Bennett, 2-time national champion, right? He knows how to win.
I said the same thing.
He just finds a way to do it.
He knows how to win. So those are the things. Do you count on the obvious intangibles of height and all this other stuff, or you, because people didn't really give Jalen Hurts much of a chance, right? Can these guys work through? Can they be able to play the game and do very well? Let's say no scouts on lazy. Purdy played well enough at Iowa State. Yeah, he shouldn't have been Mr. Irrelevant, right?
Right.
Now, I'm gonna say this one last thing, guys, before I get off here. Watch what happens in the XFL and USFL. If there's a couple of those quarterbacks that play very well, they may have a chance to make somebody's camp for the mini camps and OTAs and everything else. Watch what happens there. And you got a Quill Glass, who was the 2-time Black College Football Player of the Year, who's with the New Orleans Breakers. Now he has some competition from the guy that came from Canada, who was 2-time Grey Cup champion, right? So let's see how these guys are able to elevate their game in the USFL and XFL. I think it's a good developmental type of situations for some of these players that may get a chance going forward.
Okay. Well, Kyle, man, listen here, man. We want to thank you, man, for coming, man, spending the evening with us, man. We appreciate
look,
you. So
y'all made my
man.
day.
Hey,
I appreciate the invite.
Man, you really family now, man.
Kyle, will you be at the game tomorrow?
No, I couldn't make it, Coach, because I had emergency surgery last week, man, and my doctor didn't want me to travel.
Hey, Kyle. Coach, I'm gonna do it for you, Coach. Coach needs you to make a call, see if you can get him a sideline pass or something.
Man, y'all should have told me. I could have hooked both of you up.
Yeah, like a coach. Well, Coach, I'm in Texas, so Coach down there. I'm in Texas.
Yeah, I'm in Prairieville.
Yeah.
Dolph, where at in Texas, man?
DFW, man. Dallas.
All right.
Yeah,
all right,
man.
cool.
I'm up in DFW, man. It's a lot, man. It's a lot of us up here too, man.
Yeah, well,
I'm in
H-Town.
Okay.
Still representing here, but a couple of my guys are in New Orleans, for the Saints News Network, and I got a few from Atlanta and spread out all over for our HBCU legends. So yeah, I tell you this much, man. I appreciate you guys so much having me on. Please invite me back, in the future if there's a possibility.
Man. Anytime you want to.
And anytime you guys want to talk about Saints, if y'all need anything, hit me up. Don't be shy about it. If you need to talk,
matter of fact, I'm gonna hit you up tomorrow, man. There's something I want to talk to you about. I started our official blog, man. So
cool.
I'm trying to get into my writing and stuff, man. So I want to pick your brain on that, my brother. And I just hit you up on message you, and we'll chat like that, man. But again, man, I want to thank you again humbly. First of all, my brother, I'm glad you're sitting here in front of this screen and you're here. That's the most important thing.
Me too,
you know what I'm
man.
saying? That's the most important thing.
God has a way, Dolph, of telling you you're working too much. Sit your rusty
Gotcha. Gotcha.
And listen to me and pay attention, boy.
Yeah, man.
But look, man, y'all keep doing what you're doing. I love your show. I love what y'all doing.
Appreciate it.
And fans, support them. Help them out. Bring them along. That's how I got started, man. And it snowballs from there. And hopefully you guys will keep up doing the great work. Okay?
Oh, yeah, we are, man. It means a lot coming from you, my brother. We really appreciate it, man.
Anything I can do to help, I'm here to do it. Okay?
Appreciate it,
yes,
man.
Sir. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. You have a good night, my brother. And we'll talk soon.
Well.
Take care. Right. Thanks, Kyle.
The great Kyle T. Mosley family. Thank you, Kyle. Talk to you later. Oh yeah, man, that was great, man. Kyle T. Mosley, man, learned a lot, man. Entrepreneur, owner of the Saints News Network. I never knew that, man. So that's big, man. Coach, you got any important words before we get out of here, man?
No, man. Just have a great weekend. Be safe.
Coach, man, you should have told me earlier. I should have hit call up for you, man.
Yeah, I sure would like to, but I'll be here watching it on TV, man, because they got a lot of great young
yeah, I see that, man.
brothers that's playing.
I didn't know that the Breakers drafted Glass, man. In the recent USFL draft. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, look, family, I want to thank. Yes, sir. We want to thank everybody for being. Everybody in the chat. We want to thank OG Jerry, Uncle Jerry, for coming on. Y'all know how we do. We'll see everybody next week. Love and who that, and we out of here.
Who that?
Watch that Legacy Bowl tomorrow, family.
Most definitely, man. Don't miss it.
All right, and we out. Talk to y'all later. Keeping it real, who that sports pod, legendary Coach Rock, go 17. Let's rock. Who that? Boss kick, black and gold. Let's go. First and goal from the one. Best believe we go punch. Punching in, get them punch. With them Saints, watch us march. Down the field, down your throat. Keeping it real, who that sports. Breaking news, interviews, open lines just for you. Call in, join in, Pale Nation, just win. B.I., Mount Zion, Coach Green, oh my, CJ, JV, Trick or Trade, Jose, keep it real, baby.